Hello everyone. I am here this afternoon to give you a little bit of an introduction, overview of the Introduction to Planning Law module. So before I do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Anna McLean. I will be the module leader, and I will actually be the one who's delivering all the teaching on this module. So what is the module about? So it is an introduction to planning law, so that's a key thing to remember. Okay, it's not aimed at making expert planners. Okay, it's about introducing students to the fundamentals of how the town and country planning regime operates and how decisions are made. It involves critical analysis of the town and country planning regime. How does it work? How well is it working? Is it doing what it's supposed to be doing? Are there any weaknesses in it? And in doing that, in that critical analysis, we will focus on environmental protection. So we'll be looking at that link between town and country planning, development and environmental protection, and looking at how the town and country planning regime seeks to protect or mitigate the impacts of development on the environment. Okay, so aims of the module. The aims of the module are to introduce the legal framework of the town and country planning regime. Okay, so we're looking at legislation and policy about how development of an area is planned and how decisions are made. We'll be looking at, again, recognition, as I mentioned before, recognition of that link between town and country planning, okay, how it controls the development that takes place in an area, and that link between development and the environment, okay, the impacts that development can have on the environment and how we can mitigate those impacts. So we'll be looking at focusing particular on local planning authorities and how the role that they play in the planning regime and how they make their decisions. What do they take into account when they're deciding whether a particular development should go ahead or not? What should they take into account? What should they not take into account? To what extent do environmental considerations come into play? The focus will be on developing your skills of critical analysis of the law. Okay, it will be about not just identifying and discussing the relevant law, but about critically analysing that law. Okay, so that's the key focus that we'll keep coming back to throughout this this little video. So your expectations, what are the expectations on you if you take this module? First of all, fundamentally, you need to have an interest in town and country planning and the environment. Okay, that's what this module is about. Town and country planning, the regime for it, and mitigating the impact of development on the environment. You also need to have an interest in understanding how local planning authorities, who are public bodies, about how they make their decisions. Okay, so this sort of links into broader issues of decision making by public bodies. You know, how do they make those decisions? How can those decisions be challenged? What controls are there on the way that the local planning authorities exercise their discretion and make their decisions? You need to have a willingness to read a significant amount of literature. Okay, there will be reading to do each week in preparation for the teaching. Okay, and you know, I know from feedback from previous years that this is something that some students have struggled with. You need to be on board with that. You need to understand that there will be you know, reading to do each week in preparation of the lectures and discussion sessions. Okay, you also need to have a willingness to engage in group discussions. So the teaching on this module is delivered through a combination of lectures and discussion sessions, approximately half and half. So the lectures are focused on me, standing at the front of the lecture theatre, and delivering, identifying and delivering information on what the law is, what it is, where it can be found, what it says. The discussion sessions, okay, is when you get involved. Okay, you will be given reading to do in advance of the discussion sessions. You'll be given preparation tasks to look at, and you'll be given questions to answer. And then the idea is that you come along to those discussion sessions, and we have a discussion about the law that we've identified and covered in the lectures. We have a more detailed discussion about those in the discussion sessions. Okay, we will look at, we will sort of pull the law apart and critically analyse it. So you need to be willing to be on board and engage with those discussion sessions. There's no expectation of prior knowledge of the town and country planning regime or the law. So this is a module that's open to law students and non-law students, to planners and non-planners. Okay, it will start with the beginning of the course. I will be giving some brief sort of introduction to law, legal systems, in the English legal system. Okay, just what is necessary for you to be able to for students to be able to participate in this course. There will also be access to additional resources on Canvas with additional help, guidance, information, resources, for those who want or need more information and guidance and help with regard to legal aspects of the general legal help. Okay, so the assessment, this is what always people are interested in finding out more about. So the assessment for this module is a 2,000-word essay. Okay, the title will be quite a broad title. Okay, so that gives you scope to focus in on a particular topic or topics from the module that you have found particularly interesting that you want to write about. Alternatively, you can give a more broader type essay that covers more topics from the module. So it will be quite broad and enable you to write about an area or a topic that has been of particular interest to you. The focus again will be on critical analysis of planning law. Okay, it's not about giving a description of the law, about telling me what the law is. I know what the law is. I want you in that essay to critically analyse the law, to tell me what's good about the law, what's bad about the law, how is it working, how might it work better. Okay, and in order to prepare you for that, that's when the discussion sessions will be about developing those skills. So, you know, in the discussion sessions, we will start with little baby steps to start critically analysing the law. Okay, and you will develop those skills. You'll understand what's expected of you, in order for you then be able to put that in practice then in your assessment. The submission date for the coursework is likely to be mid-January, going from previous years. Don't have that specific information available to me at the moment, but just to give you an indication that when it's likely to be. Okay, so that is the end of my just general overview of the Introduction to Planning Law module. If you have any questions, you want to have a bit more of a chat to me about the module, and then I'm very happy to do that. My email address is there on the slide. Drop me an email or pop into my office and we can have a bit more of a chat about it. And I look forward to seeing some of you in September, October. Thank you. Bye.